That's what I found. Once you get on this train and you begin to move into purpose and you begin to grow and you begin to wake up and you begin to become who you're called to be and begin to release these shackles, man, it's like a train you don't ever want to get off either. Gets better and better and better is what I'm finding. Brothers,
What's up, y'all? How you
welcome,
doing,
welcome.
Matt?
Welcome. I'm good, Yeadon. Brothers, welcome to the Porn to Purpose podcast. We're back. We're live. We got Yeadon back with us. I've been out here by myself the past 2 weeks. Out here
Been
on
out
these
in the
streets.
wild.
Out here on these streets by myself, just gunslinging. Good to have you back, brother. I know you've been out doing some cool stuff, running your own conference, connecting with other like-minded brothers out here doing the work.
Good to be here, brother. Good to be
Yeah,
back behind the microphone, behind the
yeah,
camera,
yes. We've
talking
had a good,
about every guy's favorite subject,
yes,
the porno.
yes, yes. And we
What are we
got
talking about today, man? What's
man.
what's our topic of conversation?
We're talking about
Wait.
one of
Let
the.
me guess. I'm sensing porn.
Yep.
I'm sensing recovery.
Yeah, I think we're gonna go there. I think we're gonna go there today. We're gonna talk about one of the common questions that we see that we get. One of the common search trend questions out there, and that's the question of how do I quit porn for good? And we're gonna dig in today on a step-by-step recovery blueprint. Like, what are the
I
steps
am
that are really
really good.
necessary?
I sorry to interrupt, Matt, but I am really good at quitting porn.
Yeah,
I've quit porn probably, 1,000 times
yeah,
over the past 30 years. So
yeah,
I'm an expert at quitting, but not for good.
yeah. Well, that's going to be the piece. That's what we want to help everybody in this community begin to trend towards. Is like long-term sobriety. I've quit 1,000 times myself. I'm a huge quitter. But what's the formula for like really being able to stick with it? And creating sustained recovery, sustained sobriety. So we're going to dig in on that
Absolutely right.
conversation a little bit today. Important question, important conversation. Um, so I think if it's cool, I'll kick it off. We're going to kind of jump back and forth
Do it.
on some of these points here. Okay. So number one, like as we're looking at this, we're answering this question: how do I quit porn for good? Like, what's the step-by-step process? Now, the truth is, the step-by-step process is it's a detailed process. So we're not going to dig into the specific like skills necessarily today. That's a deeper dive conversation. But we want to kind of give you like an overarching pathway to
Like the
recovery.
blueprint.
A blueprint.
High level. Here's the
Yes,
blueprint, not the
high
step by
level,
step instructions,
high level.
but high
Yes,
level.
yes. So the first piece of the puzzle, the first step in that process, the first step of the blueprint, is going to be the point that we all need to come to if we're going to make any sort of progress in this work, and that is recognizing that you need help, recognizing that you got a problem, and that you can't do this on your own. And that's the point that I had to come to on my own several years ago as I embarked upon my journey. That's the realization that Yeadon had to come to at some point. That's the realization that every brother inside the Porn to Purpose community, everybody that's come through our community, and everyone that's done the work, that's dug into this work, has had to come to is the realization that I need help, that I can't do this on my own, and yeah, I got to get supported in this.
But it's not really a problem in my life. I mean, yeah, if it becomes a problem, I'll quit.
Right, right,
But no, this is it's not a problem for me,
right,
Matt.
right,
I'm good.
right.
Said every man ever.
Right. And I think that's a big piece of the puzzle. It's like we got to hit our own personal rock bottom, and we've had episodes on this conversation.
Yeah.
Um, Now we talk about it, a high bottom or a low bottom. Low bottom might be like everyone's biggest fear. I get caught by my family. I get in trouble with the law. I cross some bound that really gets me in trouble and becomes really disruptive to my life. Or you get to pick your high bottom, and the trick with the high bottom is like, hey, this is just causing me too much pain. It's slowing me down at work. I'm disconnected from my
Hmm.
family, from my life. And frankly, those aren't that high of bottoms, honestly. But there's they're better than other scenarios. And the problem with the high bottom, just like I'm learning in my food journey right now, is like, man, it's kind of like, it's kind of still bearable, but it's still painful. Like I haven't had a
Yeah.
heart attack yet, but I recognize that's where it's headed, right? And
Yeah,
and and
at the beginning of changing this sort of programming, it's work. It's real work
yeah,
to engage with recovery.
yeah,
And it's easier at the beginning. It's
hmm,
just easy. It feels easier to not
yeah,
to kick
yep,
the can down the road, right? It's like, you know
yeah,
what? I'll deal with this. It's not a big enough problem in my life to
yeah,
ruin everything. So I'll next year, next month,
yeah,
tomorrow,
yep,
and
yep,
tomorrow never comes.
yeah. So that's it, man. Like that's really the entry point into into really doing the work and beginning making progress. Recognizing I got a problem here, I can't fix it on my own. I need somebody else's help. Yaden, what's the second piece of the puzzle once we've gotten ourselves to that point?
Well, the second piece of the puzzle, I think, really integrates with the first piece. And before I jump into that, as I know for you and me, with the way we were raised in the church, like I don't know about you, like, dude, I knew I had a problem when I was 12. Is like this is right, pornography being called in the church, right? It's a sin, it's immoral, it's evil, it's dangerous, it's not God's plan, all of these things. So I knew I had a problem for decades. The problem was I didn't have anybody I could talk to about this,
Mm,
right? Because this is such a sensitive subject to talk about. It feels so dangerous. We feel so isolated. We feel so alone. It's like, oh, I mean, Matt has his life together. Obviously, he doesn't have an issue with porn. It's just me.
right.
That's the lie we believe.
Yep.
That was my lie,
Hmm.
which leads us into point number 2.
Yes.
Getting into a community, plugging into a place where it is safe, 100% safe to talk about the struggle with porn addiction, with
Hmm.
pornography use.
Yeah.
And looking back through my time in youth ministry, my time in small groups, I can look back and see the level of conversations that we had about porn
Hmm.
were so surface level.
Yep.
And it was always stay away from it. Stay away
Yep.
from it. Don't
Yep.
do it. You're in sin. You're failing. Moral failure if you're using pornography. It never felt like a safe space to really be authentic and vulnerable and transparent with what was really going on.
Yep.
Getting into a community that is a safe space to admit, hey, I'm being triggered today. I'm feeling
Hmm.
the pull.
Hmm.
There's the inner addict that's yelling at me. Hey, I know how we can go feel better. Type that address in.
Yep.
7letters.com,
Yep.
right? All we got to do
Yep.
is type in pornhub.com. Bam, there we go. We can get our dopamine hit.
Yep. Yep.
And when we connected 2.5 years ago, I was in another community. I'm still in that community, the Dad
Hmm.
Edge, one of the Dad Edge mastermind with a bunch of men trying to be better dads, husbands, and fathers.
Hmm.
And that was a safe space to talk about those issues. And then we brought you in to do a sensei session talking about how to talk to your kids about porn. I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy has a whole community
Yep.
around porn recovery.
Yep.
I knew I needed help. I knew I had a problem. I wanted a better life for my kids than I had experienced regarding porn addiction.
Yeah.
So I plugged into the Porn to Purpose community, got started with the Liberation Boot Camp, where every week we're on calls, guys talking about wins, losses, mistakes, growth,
Yep.
reading,
Yep.
all these things that happen in recovery to where, oh, this is a safe space.
Yep.
We say all the time, shame dies when stories are told in safe spaces.
Yep.
Reminds me of a conversation, like getting into community. Guys, I cannot stress this enough
Yep.
because I'll give you an example. Had a conversation with a cousin of mine His dad is not in the picture, and I'm in porn recovery. I'm in this coaching program. Talked with my cousin, his mom, who knows I'm in recovery, because now I don't have anything to hide. Like, but I had a conversation with 16-year-old guy, cousin of mine, talking about porn and sex and all of this stuff. And I'll never forget what he said to me. He said, Yeadon, this is the first conversation I have ever had about this stuff where it felt safe,
Yeah.
where I wasn't afraid of judgment, shame, guilt. Every conversation I've ever had until I found the Porn to Purpose community felt unsafe around porn. Every single one felt so dangerous. Getting into a community where there is the safety to talk frankly and honestly and openly about what this is. It's like, for going to Disney World, there's MasterCard.
Yep.
Or porn recovery is priceless. For everything else, there's MasterCard. That's what it is. Like,
Yep.
The recovery is priceless. Getting into the community was the game changer for me.
Yeah. Yeah. And I got to say, to that point, so there is the opportunity to get into community and begin to share our stories, right, in a place that's safe. Shame dies when stories are told in safe places. And another piece of the puzzle, which is critical, which might even lead us to our next point, is the power of the mastermind. Getting around other men who are doing the work. It's like there is the first piece is like, I need to bring that which has been in the darkness into the light and begin to
shine the light on
reveal
it.
this aspect of myself and get supported around this. But number two, like, all right, now what do I actually do? What's the
Yeah.
tactical stuff? How do I set up my recovery?
That's point number 3.
Yeah. How do I set up my my tech framework? What about the 2x2 rule? What about the 4-rack formula? What about the daily core 4? Like, what about the actual skills, tools, and tactics that are going to help me actually begin to move the needle on this? What about the emotional intelligence piece, right? How do I learn to begin to tune into my emotions and actually handle my emotions and meet my needs in healthy ways? So that's where number 3 comes into play, like tapping into the power of the mastermind, tapping into the power of other men who are on the path. And that's beginning, number 3, to follow a proven path.
Yeah.
Right. If you're going to climb Mount Everest, like that, the image that's behind Yeadon there on the screen, if you're going to climb Mount Everest, you need you could try and do it on your own, right? Maybe you could watch some YouTube videos and download
Make sure you have a really good life insurance policy if you're going to do it on your own. You know what I'm saying?
But ideally, you want to follow a guide. You want to follow a proven path. You want to hire the best Sherpa you can find, right? Someone that's been to the top, because frankly, you've been bumping your head long enough on your own, trying to read the books, listen to the audios, do the YouTubes, consume the free content, which can begin to move the needle. But if you really want to do it, you got to follow a proven path, men who have been before you. And I continue to experience the value of this even myself, like on our community calls, like on the Noble Council. Like, we're all talking about, here's what I'm running into, here's how I'm addressing it, here's a strategy that I've recently put into place. Like following a proven path, leveling up together, and following a system that's been utilized and proven successful by others who have gone before you.
I can tell you the path I was on before a community. I had one tool: stay away from it.
Yeah.
That's not a tool.
Yeah.
There's a reason why nicotine gum exists and nicotine patches exist, because it can be difficult, if not impossible, just quit smoking cold turkey. But there are processes to get yourself away from that. You have something to replace the cigarette with, and you move on with your life. With porn recovery, you have to have something to replace it with. You can't just strip it out of your life and have this vacuum. And so that's a great segue. Once you're on the path, here's the last step. The last step in the recovery blueprint
is you got to stay on the path.
You got to stay on the path. You got to stay on the path. Right?
You've
been trying to run a marathon. You got to follow the route. There are no shortcuts.
And that's the fourth piece, brothers. It's like, once you're on the path, you got to stay on the path and not quit. And recognizing this is not Now, as someone who is a marketer, right? Like we got, uh, I would love to say, hey, do this, and your problems are gone and solved forever. But that's frankly, that's not the reality of it. We're all different. It's not just to take the pill, do the thing, and it's gone forever. This is a process. This is a journey. This is a journey of progress over perfection. And I suggest that this is a lifetime journey. This is something that we get to continue to work on over time. I've failed hundreds of times. As Yeadon says, I've quit 1,000 times. This is a lifetime journey. This is something we get to continue to show up to. We're building a recovery framework, and sometimes we recognize that, hey, my framework failed. I thought I had this. I thought I was doing good, but there's a piece of it that I couldn't see, or there's a piece that I keep struggling with, or I keep falling down over. And I think we have to be willing. I did it last week's episode. We got to be willing to fall down 9 times and get back up 10, and
Yes.
get back
Yes.
up, dust ourselves off, be like, okay, where did I go wrong? Which is where following the proven path and where having a community around us helps, seeing our blind spots, patching them up, fixing our framework, and continuing on in the path and learning from those mistakes and lessons over time. It's not just boom, I do the thing, it's over, now it's gone for good. The key is to stay on the path long term, and that's ultimately how we answer the question that brought us here to the conversation today. How do I quit porn for good? You got to stay on the path. You got to stay on the path long term. That's the long term solution, is to remain diligent with the process.
The analogy that pops into my head, especially today, because Thursday, when we're recording this, is one of my lifting days. I go work with a trainer. My 12-year-old son goes with me, and we lift weights, get stronger. I've been intentionally building strength for over 3 years. If I stopped training after today, it would be a slow erosion of my strength over time.
Yep.
The muscle mass would just start to fade away. This strength is becoming more and more my lifestyle, so that when I'm 80, I can show my grandkids what a real deadlift looks like. And with porn recovery, it really is no different. Actively focusing on the recovery work,
Yep.
the framework, the core four, the four rack formula, the 2x2, all of these tools that we use, we have to practice them and put them in place over and over and over. Not just, I'm just never going to use porn again.
Right.
That's not how it works.
Uh,
You don't just not use porn again. You
no.
actively move towards its replacement.
Yeah.
And it's a lifetime journey to move towards that replacement of growth, power, masculinity, personal development, being the best. I know I joked about this after I joined the program. Like, dude, all I wanted to do was quit porn. I did not want to become a better person. I did not know that's what I was signing up for.
Yeah.
But
That's
really,
how you get to.
I've become a man to whom porn is more and more irrelevant.
Yeah.
It's just not a thing in my life, right? I don't have to avoid it because it's not a part. I've moved so far in a new direction towards growth and health and stability that porn is just becoming a distant memory.
Yeah. And that, my brothers, is the journey from porn to purpose. That's it. And that never ends. And what I found
is in the title.
Yes. And that's what I found. Once you get on this train and you begin to move into purpose, and you begin to grow, and you begin to wake up, and you begin to become who you're called to be, and begin to release these shackles, man, it's like a train you don't ever want to get off either. It gets better and better and better is what I'm finding.
Yes, indeed.
Business
runs better. My relationship with my family is better. Relationship with my friends is better. Right.
Yeah.
Every aspect of my life has improved as I have increased my focus on my active recovery.
Yeah. And I got to say, a quick piece of inspiration that pops up. So I'm doing a lot of work right now around food. I've been sharing that. I'm working with the coach, and what he's been sharing with me is like versus like feeling like we got to take all the stuff away, all the stuff I've had, I've struggled with for so many years. We're just going to add in. and we're going to add in so much high quality, nutritious food. We're just going to crowd out the garbage. And that's going to be the new commitment, is just commitment to the good. And that's what I hear you speaking to here today. I'm going to fill my life with such goodness, with such sustenance, right? With such high quality, nutritious living that the porn just kind of erodes and it finds its way out on its own almost. It's almost it's just a byproduct of who we're becoming, you know?
It's like, hey, if after you eat this giant mixing bowl of salad
Yeah.
and vegetables,
Yeah.
if you still can pack away a piece of pizza, like,
Yeah.
go, dude, you're not going to be able to drink 6 beers
Yeah.
after you eat
Yeah.
that much roughage.
Yeah.
It's just not going to fit in there.
Yeah.
When you pack your life with the active recovery,
Yeah.
the porn just doesn't fit.
Yeah.
It's like, no, dude, I'm stuffed. No, I could not eat. Keep that away from me. I don't want that.
Yeah.
I'm already good.
Yeah.
So, dude, if you're listening to this podcast, I suspect you already have number one.
Yeah.
That you recognize that porn is an issue. Porn is not something good in your life. And I would invite you, reach out, check us out, porntopurpose.com. Get on a call with us, learn about the Liberation Bootcamp program, the community that we've built that's a safe space, the proven path. I did it. I've been sober now for, I think, 780 days. Today is my number for today. And I don't know that I'm going to make it to 10,000 days. Honestly, 10,000 days, I might be dead by then. I'm not exactly sure what the math works out on that. But now that I'm on this, life is too good here for me to go back. But I know that if I make a mistake, if my framework fails and I have a slip, I'm going to plug right back in, get back on the path, take the next step. Every day, I'm working on what is the next step. So if you're out there listening and you've quit 1,000 times, this is your year. This is your moment. Take a stand for yourself. Reach out. Check us out, porntopurpose.com. Get on a call with me. Get on a call with Matt, totally confidential. Let's talk about where you are, where you want to go, and what the next step is for you.
Amen to that. That's what got us both here.
There we go.
Yeadon, thanks so much for joining here today, brothers. Hope you found this conversation valuable.
I know I did.
I know I did. Brothers, we love and appreciate you. Thanks for being here today. Look forward to connecting further. Look forward to talking with you, connecting with you in the Porn to Purpose Facebook community and all the different places that we're out there. Wherever you are in the world, we look forward to seeing you soon. Peace and power. We are noble men.
Men.
Bye-bye.